How's it going, everyone? Um,
Hi.
Welcome back to Soda Pop. This is our second episode of season 3, and as you can see, we are all already in different places. So, yeah, today is a Friday, and as some people know, we are currently experiencing some hurricane type things. So, because of severe weather, we are all out of the office and we are all at home. I think me and Ben are probably the closest. We're in pretty much the same building. He's just a little bit over. But yeah, welcome back. Today, like I said, we have Ben, and we have Kelly too. We have our two of our SOTA student leaders with us. So if y'all want to introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about yourselves.
All right. Kelly, you gonna go first, or whatever?
Sure, that's fine. Hi, I'm Kelly. I am a senior and I'm a theater major with an acting concentration. I am vice chair of the SOTA student leaders. And yeah, that's about it.
Ben, you want to do you now?
Can you hear me? My thing messed up a little bit.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Hi, I'm Ben. I am the chair for the student leaders. I am a third-year junior studying voice performance here at UNA. And that's pretty much everything about me.
Ben also works in our office. Just letting y'all know. He works in the gallery as much as he can. He's a very busy guy, though. But yeah, so the student leaders were pretty much created to be a voice for the students within the SOTA program. So with that being said, what have been a couple of y'all's favorite experiences while being part of the SOTA program? Because y'all have been in it since it started as well. So what have been some of y'all's favorite experiences, whether it be a class or just an experience in general?
I'll go first.
I think one of my personal favorite events, they're not necessarily events, but things we've done on the board. Oh, sorry. Mine's lagging out, so I couldn't tell.
You're good. Go, Ben.
Okay. One of my favorite experiences is probably working with, we had this give scholarships to kids. So we funded 2 students this summer who were doing a trombone symposium in Georgia. And that program was a way for them to learn more about their craft. And it was really helpful to be able to help them financially and working in this workshop.
Okay, and as we said, our Wi-Fi is a little crazy. You lagged out a little bit at the beginning of that. Can you tell us what that program is called again?
Oh, yes. It was a trombone symposium in Georgia. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's not your fault. We're all good. So, like I said, y'all have been here since the SOTA program started as well. So, what's been like one of your favorite classes since, we've kind of divided up into the School of the Arts?
Kelly, you gonna go first?
I guess. One of my favorite classes was probably movement in the theater and stuff like that. It was a really fun class, even though we went over into online because of COVID. But it still was pretty interactive, and I enjoyed it. You just got to be dumb a lot of the time. So for me, it was probably movement in theater.
I love that description of our theater class. You get to be dumb. Kelly. Anyways, go ahead, Ben.
I think one of my favorite classes I've had here at UNA is probably my diction courses, and I'm taking pedagogy right now for my voice area. But working with Dr. Gretchen Went, one of our voice faculty here, has been some of the best classes ever.
All right.
I actually have taken
through?
both of. Yeah, you're good, Ben. We can hear you perfectly. But I've taken both the classes that they've mentioned, and Dr. Went is amazing. I wouldn't say movement was one of my favorite classes in the theater department because it moved online. And then doing movement online is a struggle. But I do agree that Dr. Went, like, I took PED as like honors contracting. So yeah, Dr. Went is amazing. Anyways, continue. Oh, well, I guess I'm asking you guys questions now.
Well, actually, I don't
Cut
think.
me off, Mark. Cut me
Sorry,
off.
I don't think Kelly got to answer the first part of our question before the favorite experience in the program.
It's totally okay. Probably one of my favorite things about being in the group has been being collaborative with all the other departments. That, like, there's not a lot of time and place that you can be collaborative with other people, and that's why we're here, is to be collaborative in all of the School of the Arts, not just theater and film or visual arts and photography or whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's probably my favorite thing.
Sorry, Selena.
All right, guys. So I guess, Ben, could you tell me how you would define UNA SOTA leaders and like what it means to you?
The SOTA leaders serves as a voice for our SOTA students here on campus. The arts has always been a place where people are able to voice their opinions and to be very open about their ideas. And it's our goal as a board to take those opinions and take those ideas from the students in the School of the Arts and reflect those as best as possible with not only the administration in the School of the Arts, but also within the upper administration of the university.
And what about you, Kelly? What does it mean to you?
Just like Ben said, it's a voice for the students, and that's a huge thing for me, because a lot of people in the arts get overlooked, and now we are in a place where we can speak up our minds and tell people what we really do and what we really are, instead of getting looked over so much.
And I will say, I haven't seen this type of board made of students in very many other departments, and I think it helps us a lot, especially being in a area of study that is tended to be overlooked and defunded. It's just, I think this is something that helps us, considering it is students for the students. So I do think that there's a lot of things that can prosper from this, and I know every single year that we've had this, we've evolved it every year. So it's growing, and it's going to be a big influence on what we do in the arts from now
on. Have there been any projects or anything specifically that like has really enhanced your experience at UNA for being a student SOTA leader?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Oh, you're fine. Has there been any experiences that have enhanced your time at UNA for being a SOTA student leader?
Absolutely. I think when it comes to the arts and it comes to working in the arts, I think it's an incredibly valuable thing to have interactions with people in other areas of the arts, because when it comes to music, it's very niche-y. It's like every other art department. You have this idea of, this is what I do, this is how I'm built, and I have to work on this. But when I look at theater, it gives me opportunities and gives me viewpoints to where I can understand how to hone my craft better and how I can understand other art forms better. And I think it's really helpful to have background and have knowledge from other areas so that you can grow as an artist in more than one way,
What about you, Kelly? Are there any like events or experience specifically that you've done as, your vice chair of the SOTA leaders? So have there been any specific events or anything that have really enhanced your experience at UNA?
Yeah, a lot of it, we had a coffee social last semester before COVID hit, and I think that was the first time that a lot of us in the art department came together and were like, hey, like, let's play a game. We sat there and played a game forever. And we just had a great time drinking coffee and just being social with each other and actually getting to learn what other people's majors do and are. And I mean, I'm taking a photography class right now, and I never knew that photography was that intensive. And so, I mean, it's been an amazing experience for me, and it's given me a reason to continue learning about all those other majors.
You know, I think that's really interesting, and I know you guys kind of touched on this. I want to ask a couple of questions. So take me as a person who is like a freshman and like I don't really know what it is. So you guys have mentioned that it's a student-led organization, and you basically take something like the students who've been like overlooked, because it's usually like an overlooked thing, and you bring it to the administration and stuff. And I know that you mentioned, Kellee, that you were at the coffee social. So do you guys have specific events that you guys do yourselves, or is it like you just go to events that students already partake in and you like get their opinions and stuff like that?
Kellee, do you want to speak about that?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think we want to make our own events so we can learn who these students are and learn about their events, and then maybe go to their events. But right now, you know, with COVID and everything, it's been so hard. And so yeah, Ben, do you want to speak a little bit more on it?
Yeah, I definitely can talk a little bit about it. I think that COVID makes everything very difficult. And I think that living in a world where COVID and a pandemic is happening, we really don't know what's happening. You know, we don't know what to expect. We don't know what we can plan. So in the last year, we had the coffee social. We were planning a gala last semester. And we were also very involved. Like, for example, I would make sure to make very active decisions to try to attend the theater events. I would have different things happening in order to be involved in other aspects of the arts. So this year, we really haven't had the opportunity because of COVID. So one thing we are doing this upcoming year is we're doing a masterclass series via Zoom. We're having 4 professionals in the arts come in and speak and have either a masterclass online, have a lecture of some sorts. For example, in the fall, we're having a musical theater professional come in, and we're having a visual arts professional come in. And then in the spring, we'll have what else do we have? I'm trying to remember. We'll have a musician come in. We'll have probably a brass player come in. And then I don't remember. I think it's another arts area. I can't remember. Do you remember, Kellee?
Probably something through fashion merchandising.
Oh, we're having a hard time hearing you, Kellee.
Probably, I mean, we haven't really discussed it, but we're planning on doing something through, the McKinney Center, something in that area.
So these events are, of course, not just exclusive to the music program. They're open to SOTA students in general, but they're also open to the rest of campus, right?
They are open to the rest of campus. And then go ahead, sorry.
I would definitely be taking advantage of going to these classes if you're a student at UNA. They are free opportunities for you to make connections and learn and experience something new. If you have no idea what music theater is about, attending one of these master classes will definitely give you an insight about that. So I would take advantage of that.
Yeah,
but we're also offering master classes to people in the community. One of our big goals this year with the student leaderboard is we're trying to do as much community outreach as possible.
Wow.
Because we want to give, especially students in the area, the knowledge and the ability to know that UNA is, and UNA, especially the School of Arts, is a place where you can nurture your craft and that you can grow. So we're trying to get as much community outreach as possible so we can keep growing the School of Arts.
Mm-hmm. And like I was saying, who knows? I mean, you might even, you might not think that you would enjoy this. Say somebody straight out of high school, you might not know if you want to go into that direction, musical theater, anything in the arts, but you come to one of these master classes and you figure out, hey, I like this. I can make a career out of this. I enjoy doing it. I know how to, dip myself into that area now that I attended this masterclass. So off of what Selena said, I definitely think it's a good opportunity for everybody, not just SOTA students, but everybody, whether it be on campus or in the community, to come and enjoy these classes while we have the opportunity to have them.
And for those of you who are viewing, who are wondering like what's going on in my background, my roommate came in and had to grab something and then leave. So sorry about that.
Perks of being at home.
Apartment. Anyways, so Mark or Tyler, do you have any other questions about the student leader program?
So, okay, I will say I know that there's a good amount of new folks involved with the student leaders this year than previous years, but there are also returning members as well. So, how do the returning members, how do they feel about the evolution of what we've had through the student leaders since the beginning of of that board?
I think the student leaders board has kind of evolved over the years. The first year I wasn't a part of it, but there wasn't really a set idea of what was going to happen because they didn't have a precedence for it. But in the second year, they kind of built that a little bit, and that's when Kellee and I joined, and we were able to come up with ideas about what we're going to do with the program and what was going to happen with it. And now it's kind of evolved into, like we were talking about with a voice for the students. We didn't really know what it would be. We didn't know how it would work, but it works as a voice in the students in a three-part system for the School of the Arts. So we have our people in the office that are in the faculty. We have an executive board. We have the student leader board. And the executive board are people from the community that are come in. I think we have 2 or 3 people on that one. And then we have a faculty board. So basically all of these people combined help support and help create ideas for the School of the Arts. So I think we were trying to find our way into this trifecta of boards to help support the School of the Arts. And I think we found our way by forming as a voice for the students, because I think that's what we needed to be. I think we needed to be a way that we can take ideas and take those ideas and move them into something that would create change and create change for good in our university and good and to help our students.
Mm-hmm. And I know, as we already discussed, both in the previous episode and a little bit here, we are in a different time period. I mean, we're on Zoom right now instead of being in our podcast studio. We can't have giant social events. So as you guys were talking about before with your programs that you wanted to do that you aren't able to do now because of COVID, how do you guys plan on adapting through that? I know, I mean, you might not necessarily have an action plan quite yet, but like, what do you guys, how do you think that we can get students involved both through the student leaders and into the School of the Arts?
I think one big way that keeps people involved is to create friendship and create relationships, because I feel like so many times when it comes to universities and different big organizations, a lot of people lose their sense of identity because it's like, I'm one small little cog in this machine. But I think one good thing about the arts is we're all working together. You don't necessarily have to be a part of a huge group. And we're working to help in each department. So with me with music, Kellee with theater, we have several people from visual arts. We want each person to kind of serve as the ambassador and to serve as a person in that department to make sure things are going well, to keep people involved. And I think if we have those people in there who are nurturing those friendships and nurturing small groups and things that keep people involved, that's what's going to matter, because that's what keeps you involved. It's those small friend groups. It's the people who are willing to always create friendships and keep you in check, not only as an artist and not only as a student, but also as a person, because I feel like growing up in a university, or not growing up, but being in a university, you have certain things you must do. It's a student this, student that, student worker, whatever it is. We forget that we're still human, and humans have to have friendship. Humans have to have people who they can rely on. And it's important that we're checking on our students and keeping them intact for their mental health and their physical health, because that's what matters right now. And being able to keep in contact with them in small groups and checking on them one-to-one is what really matters, I think.
So I actually have one question suggestion about like friendships. And I know that when people are in the arts, they like creating and they like collaborating. It's one of those fields that you do collaborate, like Kellee had mentioned. And my question suggestion, I guess, would be, could students come to you as the student SOTA leaders, since you are the group that encompasses the School of the Arts, and say, hey, I have this project that I'm working on. I was wondering if you knew anyone in the visual department who could help me. You know, I'm in music aspect, and I was wanting a visual aspect to complement it and work on projects together and get to build those relationships and those friendships with other groups in the School of the Arts. Because I know personally, I'm not taking a sculpting class, so I don't really meet people who sculpt, even though we're in the same School of the Arts. But maybe there's a project that I want to do with them that has to do with, you know, theater, and I want to use their art in a project of mine. So would they be able to come to you guys to make those or to ask for your opinions on people to contact, or like maybe we could do a Zoom group where it's an interest meeting for people who want to collaborate on projects? I think that would be a really good event for the future, since you guys haven't decided on any of those yet.
Kellee,
So
why don't you talk a little bit about... Oh, sorry, I think I lagged out a little bit. Man, this Wi-Fi's terrible. Kellee, why don't you talk a little bit about the Facebook group that Vanessa made?
Okay, so we had a meeting with Dr. Brown and everybody in the SOTA office, and they told us about that they wanted to make a Facebook group to where all of the students of of SOTA could be added, and you have to like you have to do like some precautions, like not precaution, but you have to do like you have to put in what year you are and what department, or it's something like that to get into it, and you have to be accepted. And basically that is a group for collaborative projects. Whenever something, if a student, let's say like Selena, like you need help with something for like maybe you're doing a set design and you need help from interior design to kind of figure that out. You could go in that group and say, hey, I'm in need of some help. Can you help me? So I'm not quite sure what the name of it is. Is it SOTA student group?
I think it's School of the Arts students.
We could,
Okay.
at the end of this episode, we could link the, when we go to post it, we could link your social media. And so we'll include that in our credits. It's SOTA student group.
SOTA student group. All right. So, Ben, I know you're on a little bit of a tight schedule here. So I just want to open it up real quick. If either of you have anything else you want to say about the SOTA student leaders or anything y'all have going on, I just want to open it up real quick before we finish up.
I have a funny story about getting into SOTA.
Can't hear you, Kellee.
I have a funny story about getting into the SOTA leaders if y'all want to hear it real fast.
Sure.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was a job offer, so I sent a cover letter looking like it was a job, and it wasn't. She told me, Monica messaged me back and was like, this is not a job, this is a group. But I got in anyway.
And now you're vice chair. So who's, is there like president, or how is that?
Chair is president, vice chair.
So who's chair?
Ben.
Ben.
Oh, okay. I was like, Ben introduced himself as a member of the SOTA student leaders, so I didn't know he was the chair of the SOTA student leaders. Well, that's great. Congrats.
But
have a secretary as well.
a secretary. Awesome. Who's the secretary? Go ahead and plug.
We're recording it. It's not class. Sorry, my other roommate. He's laughing in the background. I was like, this is not a class. This is a recorded.
Kellee, I don't think we could hear you there if you want to plug again.
Oh, okay. Also, our secretary is Christy Neighbors.
Christy Neighbors.
Oh,
So shout out to Christy Neighbors too. But all right. I think that's all we have for this episode.
Hopefully we'll be back in the office next time. Yeah.
Hopefully we will. We agree. Next
Unless you guys really like seeing my roommates. But
But yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching, for listening, for whatever you're on. I found our podcast on iHeartRadio the other day.
woo!
That was something. I didn't do that, so I don't know how it got on there. But yeah, thank you guys for listening wherever you are. iTunes, Podbean, Spotify. We're on Spotify too now. So wherever you are, thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next week. And I definitely want to thank Ben and Kellee for being here with us, especially in the middle of a hurricane outside.
Thank you guys. Yeah, and thanks
guys.
everyone for listening.
And that's all we have for you this week. We'll see you next week. Y'all have a good rest of a good weekend, or whenever you're listening, have a good day. And we'll see you guys next week. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, make sure to check out all of our social medias. Feel free to send us your feedback at arts@una.edu or through the DMs of any of our social media. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you in the future.
This podcast has been brought to you by UNA School of the Arts. Executive producer is Mark Gallegos, co-produced by Selena Fugate and Tyler Hankins. Special thanks to Dr. Terrence Brown and the entire SOTA staff.